Alright guys, welcome back. Got a really good story for you today. It's good. The first time I met a real deal skinhead, and boy is it a fucking experience. Let me get into it. Okay, so back in the day, I think I was like just 16. Me and a couple of my friends from school knew this dude who had just gotten out of prison, and we'll call him Ty. And Ty was older, tattooed, and everyone at our high school and people knew him. He beat up high school kids all the time. Looking back, he's kind of a loser, but back then he was like, oh shit, he had a hot girlfriend. And he just had gotten out of prison, and he had like a little gang, and he let me and my little friends hang around, beat up some straight edgers, and think we're hella badass and cool. Anyways, he also got us into meth, and we'd snort a little bit here and there on weekends or something. We weren't super crazy, but like I met a few different people, and I was selling weed since like 14, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sell this shit because it's worth way more money. I can make way more money. So a couple months go by doing this, and it's not like I'm out there jugging sacks all day every day. Like on Friday or Saturday, there was a few people. There was like weird gothic kids. There was some like super introverted loners that were like, would bring a guitar to school type dudes with long hair. Just people you wouldn't expect, the closet meth users. At my high school and other places, I knew some. They'd come buy it off me. And a couple months go by, can't find anything. My normal people don't got nothing. I call Ty, he's got nothing. Nobody's got anything. So Ty's like, I know this dude, I'm gonna give him a call and I'll put you in contact. I was like, yeah, bet. So I call the number. I'm living in Mission Viejo. The guy's in Aliso Viejo or Laguna Niguel. It's like a 15-20 minute drive. And he's like, yeah, if you give Ghost a ride, he'll break you off something. I was like, yeah, for sure, fuck yeah. Let's run that. So they give me the directions of the house. They're like, yeah, when you get here, just pull up in front of the house. You don't have to call back. We'll come out. I pull up to the address. I park in front of the house. 10-15 minutes go by, and this like young white guy, maybe 18 to 20, 160 pounds, 5'10", normal looking, no tattoos, comes out. He's like, yeah, he walks up to my window. I was like, what's up, you Ghost? He's like, no, I'm not Ghost, but he's Ghost inside. Do you have registration, insurance? And I'm like, yeah. I go to grab it out of my glove box. He's like, no, I don't need to see it, but it does need to be all legit. I'm like, no, it's legit. The lights work. Like, everything is good, bro. Like, at the time, my parents are helping me maintain the car. Everything's good to go. It's not going to break down. We're good. All the paperwork's legit. I got my license. It's valid. He's like, all right, cool. He goes back inside. And, like, by the look of the guy, I'm like, oh, yeah, he looks like a normal dude. Like, everything, cool. Fucking 10 more minutes go by, and this dude had to be all of 6'4", 260, and just fully tattooed. Face, neck, arm. I couldn't see his legs. He was wearing like a jersey and jeans or cargo shorts or something. But his entire body's tattooed, and he's fucking huge. I drive a Honda Civic at the time. I'm like, oh shit. Like, I hope this dude fits in my car. And he like walks up to the window, and he's like looking around the car, and I'm like, what's up, man, you Ghost? And he does not respond. He doesn't look at me when I ask him. He just kind of like keeps looking around the car. I'm like, oh shit, okay. And I'm kind of excited. Like the people I hung around with, like, this was a big deal. Like, we hung out with some dudes that were like, Orange County skinheads, and a couple other groups that You know, we knew some of them, and they were like idolized in the Huntington Beach area, Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, like dudes like looked like these dudes were really about that shit, really about that life. These were killers, gangster as fuck, would fight anybody, were just known to be constantly testing people's hearts, like, but to have the clout of being like, oh yeah, I just kicked it with this dude, which, coming to find out later, that's lightweight. Even though you're not talking to cops, lightweight snitching. You don't want to tell someone else's business. Something I learned later in my own bids in prison. But back in high school, that was the shit. Like, yeah, I was just rolling with this dude, and off that alone, it could keep you out of shit with other people, because they're like, I'm not gonna funk with this dude because, bro, he could have them fucking, you know, Dane Point Lords or whoever come fuck your shit up, and their parents got money to get them off the charges, so yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with them. But I'm feeling badass. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna meet this dude, we're gonna kick it, like, I'm cool, you know, hopefully he likes me. And anyways, the little dude comes out, opens the car door, is talking to him. I'm trying not to pay attention, like I'm trying to give them their space. But I can overhear a little bit, and he's like, yeah, no, the paperwork's all good, the car's legit, it's not stolen, you're good, bro. Pause. Fake time. So they fucking little dude leaves. Ghost, giant dude, gets in the car. His head's touching the fucking ceiling, bro. He's a huge ass dude. And he gets in the car, and he hands me, like, back then there was no GPS, it was MapQuest. You had to print out directions to where you were going. And he hands me the directions, and I look, and one of the first things I see is drive 100 miles or something on I-5, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, where are we going? So I get the paper and I look, it says San Diego. I'm like, the fuck? Okay, it's like an hour and a half drive. I'm like, whatever, yeah, bet. So I put the directions in my lap, I fucking, you know, start the car, start driving, and I turned the music down low when I called the dude, so the music's like lightweight off. And we're driving, and I'm like, so, you know, what's up, man, dude? My name's Greg. Like, I know Ty J. Like, you know, I heard your name's Ghost. Like, what's up? Like, how long have you been living in Orange County? Like, those are dope tattoos. I try at least 50 to 100 times, no exaggeration, starting a conversation with this dude, and he deadpan sits like this the entire time. I'm like, oh shit. So like 45 minutes into the drive, after trying to initiate conversation with him time and time again, I turn the music up, and it's rap. Of course it's rap. 50 Cent or whatever the fuck was big at the time. Turn the music on, it's rap. It's on real low, but it's just to like break up the silence, because I realized he wasn't going to talk to me. And as soon as I turn the music on, 30 seconds later, he reaches over and turns the volume off on the radio. And I was like, okay, I guess no radio. So I keep driving, and I pull up to the place we're supposed to go, and it's like a commercial district, and we're literally on the border of Mexico. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? There's hella sketchy. There's like little like Mexican street vendors and ice cream men that walk around with little carts and shit. Like, it was like lightweight Mexico that we're in. We're in a commercial district across from like a little tram or train thing that actually goes into Mexico. I'm like, what the fuck? So I pull in, I park. Ghost hops out the car, walks away. and leaves me there. And I'm like, all right, yeah, he's got to do his thing. Obviously, he's not even said one word to me. He's not gonna bring me with him. Like, that's cool, I get that, whatever. And I'm sitting there. Literally 30 minutes goes by, and I'm like, okay, like, this is sketchy. I'm just sitting in my car. I'm smoking cigarettes as I'm under 18, like, kind of like worried about cigarettes, like that was gonna be the situation. So, hour goes by, hour and a half, 2 hours goes by, and dude's not back. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I try calling the number that I had called originally, the 18 to 20-year-old little white guy with no tattoos. Call, no answer. I'm like, oh shit, something must have went wrong. He killed someone killed him, the deal went bad, the dude he was picking up off of was waiting for someone else. Like, what the fuck? Like, and I took him down there at like 10 a.m. Like, we didn't have school that day for whatever reason. We went at 10 a.m. It's now like 2:33 p.m. A, traffic's gonna get bad. B, I've just been sitting near Mexico for fucking hours and hours. And I have people blowing me up like, hey, can I get that today? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm supposed to be getting it. I'm not sure. I'll let you know. So I'm texting hella people, calling hella people. And all of a sudden, and no one's walking through this commercial business parking lot that entire time. All of a sudden, these two like gangster cholo dudes come running up to my car, and I'm like, oh shit, bro, like, I'm about to get carjacked, like, something's going wrong. This is not good. They run up and they come tap on the window. So I crack it a little bit. I'm like, hey, what's up? They're like, hey, is your trunk open? I was like, no, who are you? And they're like, you're here with ghosts? I'm like, yeah. I pop your trunk. I'm like, all right, yeah. So I pop the trunk. And they have like a little backpack. They go over to the back of the car, do something, and they leave without the backpack. I'm like, alright, yeah, bet, hell yeah, we got this. 5 minutes later, Ghost comes walking up to the car, and he hops in. So I already know the situation. I'm not turning the music on. I'm not going to try to start a conversation with him. I'm just driving the speed limit, 65 back, all the way up to Orange County. And about halfway into the drive, he looks over at me, and he's like, you said your name was Greg? And I was like, yeah, nice to meet you. He's like, what's your nationality? And I was like, nationality? I was like, I'm like German and a little bit English, but I'm white. And I was like, I think I'm like 132nd or 164th Hopi Native American. And he's like, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. And after that, I try to ask a follow-up question. I'm like, oh, so how do you know Ty J? Or did it? Goes back to just sitting there, deadpan, face forward. And I'm like, all right, situation normal again, status quo. Will not talk, just drive. So I drive. I get back to the house that I had picked him up at, and as he's getting out of the car, he's like, yo, man, it's nice to meet you, Greg. You're solid. Sorry I don't talk much. I just did like 8 years in the shoe. Whoop-de-woo. Like, I'm still weird about meeting people and shit. Like, most of the people you meet in prison aren't good people. And, you were hella solid. You didn't freak out. You didn't come and get out of your car and try to find me. That's mighty white of you, brother. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. He hops out the car, shuts the door, gets in the trunk, grabs his backpack, walks inside. And I'm like waiting there, and I'm like, okay, like I was told I was gonna get something for this. Like, did I just drive this dude for no reason? So I'm like sitting in the car still. I call Ty J. Ty J's like, bro, I set you up. That's on you, bro. You gotta figure your own shit out. I'm about to call the little 18 to 20-year-old dude. As I'm going to like text him, he calls me. He's like, bro, why are you sitting in front of my house, bro? You're blowing up the spot. Like, what the fuck? You just dropped off like a convicted felon, known drug dealer, gangbanger. You gotta get the fuck out of here. I was like, oh, I was, wondering if I could get something for. Hangs up on me. I'm like, you know what? It's like fucking 5-6 o'clock now. It's been a long day. What the fuck ever, dude. Drive home. Open the back of the trunk, like maybe left something for me. Look around, everything, it's empty. There's nothing in there. It's like, fuck, dude. Call all the people back. They've been hitting me up all day trying to get something. Like, yo, bro, I can't get it. It's good, whatever. End up the next day or two picking up off somebody else, jugging little dubs and 40s to the kids at school. And I see Ty J like 2 weeks later. Keep in mind that for the last 2 weeks, I'm an idiot with a Rice-style Honda Civic, driving 90 in second gear, fucking whipping it around corners. Didn't race away from the police or anything, but like just being an idiot, selling drugs out of this car, smoking weed in the car at lunch in high school, right after school, smoking weed in the parking lot, like booking it when the school cop would run over. I see Ty J 2 weeks later. I'm like, yo, bro, like I drove your homie and I didn't get shit. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, you didn't give you anything? I was like, nah, bro, nothing. He's like, I'll see what's up. A day later, I get a call from a random number. And I'm like, yeah, who's this? He's like, Greg? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, this is fucking Ghost, bro. Keep my name out your mouth, bitch. Blah, 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 blah. Saying I didn't give you shit, bro. I plugged you fat. What the fuck's wrong with you? I'm like, bro, what? I was like, whoa, like, bro, you didn't give me anything. He's like, I left it under your spare tire, bro. Don't talk shit, bro. I'm like, bro, you didn't tell me it was under the spare tire or anything. He's like, I didn't. My bad. Stay solid, wood. Blah, blah, blah. Hangs up. I go out to the car. I look under the spare tire. There's a Glock 19. There's like $500 in 20s, 5s, and 10s. And there's a quarter pound of meth. More drugs than I'd ever seen in my life. And I was like, what the fuck? Come to find out years later, rest in peace, Ghost. He, at some point, commits a murder, cuts the dude's body up, puts it in the back of his truck, goes to a bar, meets 2 chicks, picks them up from the bar. They're riding around in the truck. And he's like, yeah, I'll give you 2 a ride home. Well, every 10, 15 miles, he'd stop and throw a bag out the back of his truck over on the side of the road. One of the girls is like, you can't just litter like that. What the fuck? What these girls didn't know was he was throwing pieces of the body out the truck in random spots in shopping bags. These were literally pieces of a body chopped up. Something happens, the truck's stolen, he's speeding, he gets pulled over, and he still has a bunch of bags in the back of the truck. When the cops fucking start pulling everyone out, questioning everyone, the girls don't know what's back there, and the dude ain't seeing shit. So they arrest all 3 of them for tampering with evidence, obstruction of justice, and a murder charge. The girls ended up cooperating, saying, yeah, it wasn't us. Like, we'll tell you whatever you want to know, but we don't know anything. This is where he picked us up. This is what, he said we was doing. He bails out on that. He's on the run and got into a shootout with the cops and died in a shootout with Orange County Sheriff's Department maybe like 10 years ago. I heard about it more recent than that, but when I heard the name, and I there's a million white ghosts and Whitey and Aryan Barbarian or whatever, there's a lot of names. Ghost is a very common white boy name or skinhead name, so I didn't really think it was him until someone had like a newspaper clipping or like an online newspaper article or something. I had a picture and I saw the tattoos and was like, oh shit, man, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, it was always cool with me. I met a lot of other people that were affiliated, and a couple of them I was like, yeah, I know Ghost. He didn't really kick it with nobody. When after he got out of prison, he was very selectively who he kicked it with. So a few people called, a few like important people in that world, and he would back it up and be like, yeah, no, he's solid, he's a good kid, look out for him. And that was meant a lot to me when I was younger. I thought that made me hella badass or cool. But it was real cool of him to do that. But fucking yeah, that's my story. Drove like 5 hours in total. Maybe got a sentence or two out of him. But that was the craziest skinhead story I have outside of prison. Alright guys, like, subscribe, stay tuned. I'm going to drop the best story ever told in the next couple days.